Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's tea leaf reading, general messages. We will be taking a look at whatever comes out. Before we begin, I have a quick channel message, and that is that protection is significant at this time, okay? Energetic, spiritual protection. And I do hear legal protection, okay? So I have this emphasis on either you're currently working on some kind of protection here, or this is something that is going to come in for you, right? The readings can also be predictive. And this can be something that you've actually already put in place and you're about to see some kind of result connecting to that, okay? I have that the energy is positive surrounding that and also strong, okay? So you are strongly protected as well, and what you do put in place will work and has worked, okay? And is currently working depending on where you are on the timeline. Okay, so to help you choose your cup, we have the flowers out. The yellow flower is cup 1 and the purple flower is cup 2. I am now going to get straight to the readings. If you need more time, pause the video, come back when you're ready. Otherwise, I'll see you at your reading. Hello cup 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the yellow flower. Yellow flowers can actually be significant for you at this time, okay? Particularly daffodils, those that are associated with springtime, okay? I see that this energy from the yellow flower represents the sun, okay? It represents sun energy and vitality. There's something here about vitality coming back into your life, and for many of you it connects to well-being and holistic remedies here, okay? Some of you may be a herbalist or you're tapping into that and herbalism is helping you with something, okay? But I see that ultimately it's behind that is this sense of a healing energy, okay? And it can be simply coming from, you know, having bright colors in your life, right? Yellow, being in the sun itself, just spending time outdoors and around nature, okay? So that comes forward quite strongly there when I just picked up the flower. Okay, so let's see what your cup has to share with us. I will hold it up so you can see it, and then I'm going to take a look, okay? Okay, cup 1, there is a message here about the importance of writing, okay? Now, there's a few things about this writing. The first thing is that there is something that you're working on which involves actual writing, okay? This can be manifesting, journaling. You may actually be a writer of some kind. I am being drawn to the energy of, you know, blogging and recording, keeping records of something. Record keeping also comes forward here, okay? And also in my vision I'm seeing like very old paper with handwriting on you can't even really read, like it's a specific handwriting. So there's something here about heritage, and I actually see a date on some of this documentation. It's like 1887. It's connected to very far back in some cases. Now what I have from that is that these papers and whatever you are also writing and working on, doesn't matter which it is that I've just described, okay? They don't all have to connect to you, but ultimately I see that there is some kind of outcome coming from writing or discovering writings that connect to your heritage or your family, for example, okay? And in other cases I'm seeing that this is about you rewriting your story, okay? So really a very strong energy here of someone who is able to get their thoughts out and to put their thoughts out and put it into words that can actually create something, okay? And as I shared, some of you may actually be a writer, and I see that there is a book in the workings here. That book is going to be successful, and I see that umbrellas are significant. I'm drawn to this part of the cup, and it's like a closed umbrella but slightly open. So there's something that is opening for you, okay? It's at the beginnings of it is the energy that I have. So it can be that you are starting to write this book, starting to rewrite your story. You know, keep in mind everybody is on different parts of the timeline. But also can be writing paper, you know, research paper here, and it's going to be recognized. You know, these papers and this writing, okay, it holds some kind of honor. And again, no matter which part of that connects, that resonates for you, it's all bringing you some kind of honor, and in some cases some type of wealth. And it will be residual wealth, especially where this is a book or a research paper. This is connecting to heritage. It's bringing you wealth and abundance of some kind. It will take some time for it to come in, okay? As I say, the umbrella I see is just slightly open. So it's almost as though, you know, this could be over a period of years, right? That doesn't have to be for everyone, of course, but ultimately it's this energy of it's something that will stay and it will continue. Very interesting. So I see the letter I twice here, okay? So the letter I can be significant. This can connect to a name, a place, okay? A thing even. I actually have, there's some energy connecting to ice, okay? Something to do with ice. This can be icy environment. This can connect to, you know, a particular part of the world where ice comes and is still there at the time you watch this video. And there's also this sense of breaking the ice, and I see these two eyes also representing people, okay? So quite a few things there coming from that. Take what resonates. So I see that there's going to be two people here who will break the ice, right? Usually it's one person, right, who has to take the step forward, but there's something here where it's equal give and take, and there's going to be a reparation and a reconciliation energy. For some of you, this is not just romantic. I see that this is family related, okay? Also friendship related, and it's to do with someone that you have not had contact with for quite some time, okay? And they are connected to your past, quite far back in your past, whichever way round it is for you. Where it comes to romance, I see that there is a couple who are going to get back together. And I see that this couple, when they are back together, they are going to travel, okay? So there's travel here for those of you that resonates with, and you're going to go to a very contrasting environment. So it can be going from an icy, you know, a cold environment to hot, because I have the energy of the desert and dryness here, okay? That part of the world may be significant for you, where there's a drier climate, where we have deserts. Yeah, there's an energy here of taking steps towards a plan that is going to be changing your life in a significant way, okay? And it's step by step, somewhat like this book and the writings and all the energy that came up with that. It's something that will be over a period of time that can stretch over a few years, okay? Of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over a period of 5 years. You may already be on your way, okay? Some of you I see can be at like step 3, let's say, okay? You're kind of halfway, but for some of you, you're at the beginning, okay? Because there's almost this sense of you are deciding it. It's like a current energy, like this is something you're looking at now. I see in my vision a magnifying glass, even, you know, looking at a map here. So you could be choosing where you want to even live or simply just travel, okay? But it will be more than one travel. So you can expect to have that coming into your life if that's what you have been working on, okay? So I see here what looks like two paths, two roads even intertwining, okay? And it's interesting because it's in between the two eyes. and the two people here, okay? And I hear two worlds collide. There's something that is destined here, okay, for many of you. And yes, it connects to these two people. And yes, there's the family energy I touched on and the friendship. But ultimately, it's like this energy of you being brought up to where you need to be on your path, okay? So some of you may feel at a certain point during your journey that it feels perhaps chaotic, rushed. It may look even like this is not going to plan. I need to change what I'm doing. But actually, no, it's coming together. That's what I have from this. And even if you think, no, I'm miles away, I'll just never get to that goal. I'll never, you know, for example, have my book published. Who will want to read my book, or who will even sponsor me? This kind of energy, it's like suddenly, and also that kind of sliding doors energy. Okay, so expect a miracle, you know, believe in that. You know, believe that that is actually possible for you as well, okay? So have belief in what you do know to be true for you, right? Because I'm seeing that's how it's going to show up for some of you. You kind of might feel like you're just thrown onto that path, but it's not exactly that. It's more so that you're being supported divinely and brought closer to where you need to be, okay? So follow the signs, and, you know, not everything is a sign, right? But what you know is really for you. And you will know that. You know, your inner knowing is your navigation system. Okay, we have a number 7 here. Okay, so 7 can be significant. And also there is a butterfly, okay? So there is an energy here of transformation, and I actually hear reawakening. So there's something that could be reawakening within you as well here, Cup 1. Something that you may have kind of thought, again, similar to this energy I had about, you know, my book may just never get published, no one will ever really want to sponsor me. Something that you had, like a dream. This butterfly represents a dream you had. Well, it's coming back to life somehow here. I'm seeing you kind of get a burst of energy and a burst of passion to give it another go. So that's why it's this sense of reawakening rather than it's something completely new, okay? Yeah, I see the initial F here also, and actually for some of you I have this connects to a father figure, okay? So this can be important regards to what we've seen so far in the cup. Somehow it connects. This can be a reconnecting with a father figure, though I know it won't be for everyone. And of course, as I say, letters, they can connect to a place, a person, a thing, so keep that in mind also. Yeah. So we also have a huge elephant here. See the trunk and the ears and the face? Huge elephant. I'm seeing that for some of you this connects to protection. And before I actually was hearing figurine when I had the initial F, and I was sharing what I had from that was figurine. So some of you, you may have an elephant figurine, okay? You're considering getting one. And this is prosperity. It's prosperity and wealth and protection, and it's quite big here in your cup, okay? So you can expect to have more than enough, and you may be, when you come across this video, you may be at a place where you think, which is an energy that's come up throughout the reading so far, that I don't see that. Maybe I'll have money but not actually wealth. No, you will. And do you know how, for many of you, this is connecting to like your inner passion? It goes back to this reawakening. And you're going to see that actually I had that within me all along. Okay? And you're doing something different to how your family have done things as well. This is what I hear. For example, you may end up being the first person to own a business in your family, or, you know, but that's, I'm giving an example. I'm not saying that's what I see in the cup. That's an example to point out the energy I'm getting. It's something that will be significant and stand out, that you will be the first person to do that in your family. Okay? I'm seeing what looks like a bird perched on a branch here. Okay, it's quite a big bird. I see that this bird here is kind of watching. So I see that to keep an eye on who you're sharing information with. It's kind of a bit of gossip energy coming from this bird. You know, I just have this energy of a watcher of some kind, okay? So just keep that in mind, that perhaps when you start to have, you know, successes and you have your plans that are going to work out for you and you've decided on things, just, you know, just pay attention to people's reactions. And I see that you may have to, you know, distance yourself from some people. Can be one person in particular, of course, though I'm not drawn to one particular person at this moment in time. There's a message about stones here, and I'm drawn to this part of the cup. There's actually indication of stones, like huge stones, being significant here. This could be a location. You may be at that location. You're going to visit there, but stones are important. So yes, I see that these stones, in many cases, they actually have spiritual connection. And for some of you, this is a well. And I actually see that it's somewhere that you can actually get an aerial view. There's an aerial view. You can go up above and you see how vast. So in some cases, this is very vast terrain. So a few things from that. Like I said, you can live in this location already, or you're being drawn to this a part of the world that has these important stones. And it's spiritually connected. And some of you will visit. There is a spiritual travel and a spiritual journey here that I see. Yes, and in some cases, it may appear that these stones, they look like faces, or they may have faces, okay? And one more thing is, when it comes to this kind of gossipy energy, this watcher energy, you know, people will have their opinions, but that doesn't mean that's the truth. Because I see that someone will have something to say, just even if you don't tell them things that's going on with you, they're just kind of making assumptions, okay? It doesn't mean that it's true or the truth. Okay. I just heard bygones be bygones, let bygones be bygones. So somebody wants to let bygones be bygones with you. I have a peacock here. Oh dear. We did have one. Yeah. Somebody wants to impress you here, cup one. Somebody wants to impress you. This is about attraction energy here. This person may already be around you, okay? But I see that there is someone who wants to impress you, literally with their feathers. Quite a domineering energy, but not necessarily negative at this point. Okay, I'm actually just going to draw you one oracle card today. That was your cup. Just to sum up the reading for you, okay? beautiful. The clover. And guys, look, don't you think it almost matches? Because it shows up yellow on the card. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Luckiness, luck, brightness, blessings, good energy, good positive energy, being on the right path. Really beautiful card to sum up your reading. Okay, thank you, Cup 1. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Bye for now. Hello pal 2, welcome to your reading. You chose the purple flower, so let's take a look at your cup. General messages. Okay, you can pause the video and have a look also if you wish. I'm now going to take a look at your cup. Okay, so there's a lot happening for you, Cup 2. And I have that this is close in energy. There's going to be a lot of rapid changes happening for you. And right away, I see a rooftop. Okay, so this is connecting to a home and a move. And I see an anchor. Some of you are going to find your forever home soon. You're going to move to your forever home soon also. Okay. And I also see that with the anchor being there, it's going to be bringing you stability. Stability in ways that you didn't even think were possible, okay? Because there's growth and expansion. And it's particularly financially here, okay? Yeah. Okay. So I see that there is someone who is quite involved. Actually, no, they're not quite involved. They try to be. See these eyes and this mouth, but it's a kind of straight across mouth, as though they kind of just have something to say about what you're doing and not doing. Okay, a very domineering energy here. I see that this person, you will be able to distance yourself from them. For some of you, this is an ex, and they're trying to interfere energetically. Also, you know, in the physical reality, I do have communication here, them trying to get hold of you. Though it's interesting because I have over here this energy of protection. These are looking like different symbols and also references to certain animals and insects even, and they are beside this face. So you are very much so protected. This person, they want to try and re-enter your life, but they don't take no for an answer easily. The thing is, you're moving away from that. And you know what? You've also worked very, very hard to get what you have and what you're going to have. I'm seeing here a person who is very studious. It doesn't have to necessarily mean that you've been in school, in university, in training even, but you've been putting your mind to something, and it can be, ways to build wealth, ways to improve finances, all this kind of thing. It could have been a skill or a hobby even, but it's something that you put effort into, and it's something that grew and blossomed, and it's going to grow and blossom depending on where you are in the timeline. And this has brought a lot of healing. And you may not fully see that, okay, but there will be experiences, there will be ways that it's revealed to you that, oh, me doing that brought me healing. It actually brought me forward and moved me forward in my life, okay? For some of you, where it's been a hobby, something you've been passionate about that you've been working on, I see that you're turning it into a business. And this is also what's bringing some kind of wealth for you and financial stability. And it's, for many of you, it's something you do with your hands, okay? Some of you may be going to create a service-based business, for example. You know, and also the healing arts does connect very heavily, very strongly rather, even home-based, with it being next to the rooftop. Yes, and here we have the mountain and some clouds above there. You know, the clouds are parting. I also see that this connects to location here. Some of you may be by mountains, you're considering a travel there or being closer to mountains. And we do know that they represent obstacles, right? And you are overcoming those obstacles. When I see the person in the cup, which represents you, this person working hard on some, you know, end of hour here, they're above this mountain and clouds, right? So you kind of rose above, you are rising above, and you're going to rise above any challenges, especially where this X energy is concerned, okay? Yeah. So when I look back at what is protecting you here, this these symbols, so as I shared, I see that this represents symbols, animals, insects, but particularly this could be connecting to some type of ruin, you know, ruins, symbology that only you can understand, for example, or it could be very ancient symbology. Yes, it's languages here like hieroglyphics, you know, even just different kinds of alphabet that aren't in the Roman form, okay? So like ancient languages or an ancient form of symbols that are for protection. Arrows are significant also. I do have an angel here, okay, so there is angelic energy also protecting you. For many of you, this is like your guardian angel, and this can also represent someone you've been connected to for some time, even if it's not been since childbirth. It's an energy that very much so surrounds you. And the number 4 is significant here. 444. Okay. Yeah. There is a door opening for you, a pathway opening for you, cup 2. I see that for some of you, this has been conscious in the sense of you have been putting it out there for something to come your way, or you know, something to open up for you, an opportunity. That is going to happen. And for others, it's been something that is a byproduct, let's say, of other work you've been doing, as I touched on, working on this end of our this hobby or training or education, right? It's opening doors for you and opening opportunities. I'm hearing dance again, so this may resonate for some of you regarding dancing again, and it may not be literally dancing, but the energy behind it is that you'll be picking something up again that, you know, brought you some happiness, something that you may have not been able to do for some time. And for many, it's actually connected to walking and hiking. You may have been recovering from something here, such as, you know, you couldn't do that type of thing. And yes, of course, it can be the dancing, right? But there's a physical element I'm picking up on here. This could have been, you know, just a sore leg or ankle, and you just couldn't do that, right? Can even connect to hand here, because I'm drawn to my wrist. And so you can expect that to recover well, and you'll be able to do that again, okay? Can even be connecting to driving, okay? So it's like your freedom, right? There's some element there to your freedom. And where the physical element doesn't connect to you, it still is in the energetic sense, right? Like just getting back that movement, that energetic movement, and feeling that, right, I'm in the flow here, I'm back in the flow. Yeah, I see an owl here. This owl is sleeping, and it's very much so covered, almost like it's in its nest here, like it has a head covering. So not only can owls be connected to you, it can be your spirit animal, but I see that this represents safety. So either you're creating your safe place, your safe space, this is currently what you're already working on. You can expect to have that, okay? A place where you'll be able to relax and switch off, and also getting to that place in life, right? On a general level of being able to be like, okay, I can actually rest, and you know, I'm trusting myself, right? And even I hear like, you know, nervous system regulation, like, you know, you'll move out of dysregulation where that resonates for you, okay? Yes. And particularly during sleep time. I hear that people are very touched by you, okay? You have a very touching, like people find the way that you are with them very touching. Like you have a very positive impact on people's lives, more than what you think and may feel or perceive. And I'm seeing that grow. And if you may be at a place where you think, well, I don't really have that, or I don't have people around me that I would be doing that with, that's going to enter your life. Because I see that what you're moving towards ultimately is also bringing healing and having an impact on others. And it doesn't mean you have to necessarily be going into the healing arts, right? It's not just that. It's just your energy and the way that you are. As I say, you're able to touch people, like you can communicate. You're a really great communicator. I see that your throat chakra is very much so open, and there's a lot of compassion and empathy attached to that, though it's not imbalanced, and I don't see you being imbalanced when it comes to that. You know boundaries, and you learned a lot from this past ex situation, okay? And where you may think, no, that ex doesn't relate to me, it's the past, it's past experiences, because it can be someone who embodied a similar energy of this ex here for you, right? Someone who just couldn't take no for an answer, who's domineering. Generally dealing with domineering people, right? You know, you learn, okay, my compassion and my empathy, I have to be careful with that. I have to put my limits, and I have to also check if that's a safe space for me, going back to this safe space energy. Really beautiful. Yeah, I see someone smiling here at the bottom of the cup. It's kind of a quirky smile, okay? Quirky and happy, and it's this energy of contentment. Yeah. And we do have a big eye here. Interesting, lots of eyes today. Letter I, that is, here. It's actually also an exclamation mark when it's upright. Yeah, exclamation mark. So I take from that this is just connecting to this past, you know, warning, but not in the sense of, you know, it's something that is extremely detrimental, but it's just know that that person is trying, and we've touched on that, right? They're trying to re-enter, and you keep doing what you're doing and focusing on ahead. Okay, lovely. I have what looks like an axe here. The energy I have from this axe is, you know, it's like cutting through what no longer serves you as well. Cutting down and cutting out the things that no longer serve you. And you know, this can be an ongoing process, right? Because I see this kind of like, you know, there's all these steps, you know, different stages. It's not just like a one-time thing, but interestingly, going that way, we see these little points, they get smaller. So it's as though this will become easier, and touching back on the boundaries energy, and being careful with your energy and your communication and voice and empathy and compassion, right? That you will defend yourself. That's what I have from that axe. Let's get you an oracle card to wrap up the reading. How to? Oh, okay. We had that in the first reading too, but look, there's the mountain. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Yes. The answer is yes to something. Okay. It was one card I was pulling, but two came out, so I'm taking them. So this is a confirmation of what we saw in the cup regarding the mountains, regarding the obstacle, and see, this is that energy of getting over the obstacles, and also it's about having a blessed place of living, a blessed travel, okay, particularly where you're going to places that are far from you and completely new. I see that here there is a connection to multiple languages and perhaps having to communicate in a different language in the future. And when you travel to these different places, you may already be working on that. Oh yes, because the working hard on something that which I didn't have for everyone. You're in school or some type of education, but you're learning. So learning languages, yes. So some of you are becoming fluent as well. Amazing. Fluent in different languages, in some cases very different to your native tongue. And somehow this is all a part of your bigger plan for you and your destiny. You're being prepared for something when you get this pull, or you're drawn to learning about a different culture. Okay, this the mountain here and the card in this deck, it's also about overseas and foreign ties, okay? As well as it being representing an obstacle and literally mountains, but it's about foreign ties, okay? So there's a strong connection to that. And as I said, there's this energy of yes to something, so take that as it resonates for you. You may have had a question on your mind during this reading, and that's what's coming forward for you. Okay, that's your reading, Cup 2. I hope you enjoyed that today. Really beautiful readings. And if you did enjoy this, like, share, subscribe, and thank you so much. And I'll see you soon for another one. Bye for now.